You are live. Live. Hello. Let me check if we are live. Talking mess. I just saw the notification.
We are live.
We are live. What are you looking for?
We're a little dark in the background.
Well, I had the lights on and you didn't like the lights. I know. Turn this one on. Yeah. This one.
I just said dark. Anyway.
We probably.
Oh, good though.
See, that's better.
Not to worry.
At least you can sort of see us,
Indeed.
hopefully. Can you see us?
Yeah.
Yes, we're probably...
Howdy to the 4 people that
Hello.
watching us. A little bit different this week. I am actually in ACT here for the weekend, so a little bit different, which is pretty dope.
I'm happy. Can you tell?
I can a little bit.
A little bit.
How have you enjoyed me being here? Straight into the heavy stuff.
You being here is the highlight of my life. What can I say?
True.
It is always fun.
Always.
Hello, Miss Nat.
Hey,
Welcome.
Miss Natalie, how are you?
Oh, should I say Natalie rather than Nat, or are you just being extra efficient and official?
Being a little official.
Oh, official. Well, hello, Miss Natalie. I'll say
Yes.
Nat. Hi, Nat. You know, it has been fantastic. Hello, Miss Zoe.
Howdy.
Hello. Rowan. Hello.
Yes, for the message that you just sent, same timing, same.
Same?
Yep.
Same. Welcome. We are so glad that you have joined us for
Indeed.
#Talking Mess. Absolutely. It's going to be fun as always. We are talking of the mess.
Yep.
We love that you come and hang out with us. Miley says hi. Hi. Hello. So cool. Thank you, Sharon. Big shout out to Miley. So how was your weekend? How was it for you being back here in the gorgeous of the ACT?
How has it been? It's been really hectic. So
Okay.
it's because it's only a weekend. I try to fit in so many people to see, and I didn't even get to see half the people that I wanted to. So the people that I did see, it was fantastic to see you and to have those small conversations and see the progress that I have made, but also they have made in business life, family life. Everything has just been fantastic. And the people who I didn't see, sorry first off, but we'll try and catch you up and catch up with you when I get some more times. But it's not been a little weekend of rest and relax. It's really just been balls to the wall. Like I haven't stopped really, have I?
No.
I haven't even been here.
No. It's just like old times where you're flying in the door. I need shoes. Quick top, change, out the door again. It's like, there he goes. And that's
legitimately
how it was.
I came back from what was it? I don't even remember who I was seeing. That's how many people I was seeing. It was literally walked in. I didn't even get it. I actually drove into the street and said, "Hey, I need you to throw me shoes and a shirt." And that's exactly what he did. Didn't stop. He shoes, shorts, shirt, and a bottle of water. And I turned around in the cul-de-sac and then I went out again. So
I was just waving on the street. See ya.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, "Yep, ladies." So it's been really hectic, but it's been good at the same time. Been really therapeutic for the people that I did see. Big shout out to the DC crew and that small little bit of the workout that I did take at the end. It was brilliant to be back in in a space that I'm so familiar with, and just feels like home. Like it literally felt like I hadn't left at all when I rocked up. Everyone was so super nice, and that culture and family that I'm trying to create that's where it stems from. So it's really just awesome to get back into that flow. And then, like I said, once I finished that, I went out and kicked it with someone else and was hitting golf balls and stuff like that. And I needed to get some of my exercise in, so that was it. But yeah, really just networking and seeing people.
Cool. So hey, Jeff Matters on. Hello, Miss Karen. Hello. So glad that you're here, Miss Christy. See your big sexy face come up then with the little love heart. So I love it. Thank you. So shout out to Nat and Bronwyn and Sharon and whoever goes to the Tuesday ladies class. Can I please ask you to remind Aldine to record 5 minutes of his assessment that is required, because he gets in the moment and then forgets. So can I please ask you, if you can just be like, Aldine, your mum said I've got to ask about the assessment because I'm not there to be like, let's go. So I'm just gonna ask if you are at any of those classes on the Tuesday. Please be like, assessment, Aldine.
Good call. Yeah, so I'm on the last little bit of an assessment to get a certification, and I have these grand plans before I start. So like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna record it, and then I can send it in. And then as soon as I get into that moment at a coach, I'm just so consumed by it, and there's nothing else in the universe that exists. So I was meant to do that when I went to see some of the crew at DC, and that didn't end up happening, even though it was so perfect, which I wish I could go back and do it, but not to worry. We'll remind you. Nat coming through with the goods as always.
Excellent. That's just great. Please don't let the class end that night if you hasn't done it. Be like, we are forming a protest here.
Don't worry, it'll get done. So Nat's got us covered. So.
That's it. I love it. Fantastic. So it's interesting you were talking about it's like you came home and it's like you never left.
Yeah.
Why do you reckon that is?
Why do I reckon that is? That's actually a great question. It brings up a lot of stuff, but I think it's because it just feels like home, and home in the sense of it's a safe space, which I think that gets thrown around a lot, and it's kind of got a bad rap about it, but it's a safe space to, if you needed to cry or something really bad has happened, like you're safe to do that there. If you're training for a professional fight and you're at the gym, it's a safe place to do that. So it's a safe space in all sense of the word, but it feels just like home when you rock up to your place after being away for the weekend or something, and you're able just to relax your shoulders and just really just let go and be yourself. That's exactly what it was. I walked in there, and one of the coaches, Dan, big shout out to him. I didn't get to see him again because things have just been so hectic. I was a little bit reserved at the start because I didn't want to get too involved and then take out of his flow. But then as the old me that used to go and train in there was so ready to just want to get involved and be a part of it. So then I was like, okay, like let's just do a little bit. Let's just get on the mats with these guys. And I just started to get on the mat, and from there I started to encourage the people and not be a coach. If that makes Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like not be that coach where I'm encouraging clients and my friends, being that that person that just loves to see people succeed, regardless if it's the first time I know you or not, because like that's my safe space too. And seeing that they're in that safe space, pushing themselves, like I can't love that and get that enough. So yeah, that's one of the, I guess, the reason why I say that it's home, because it's all those things that home is for so many people and it is for me, but it's just at a gym and it just looks different.
Do you think that it's because of the environment, the people? Is it the owners who help the people who go there to make it feel like home, or is it the people who go there that help then the owners to make it home? So is it which way?
I think it's like a table. Everything is dependent on everything else. So you have the clients who are one legs, they make up part of the table. It's the coaches who make up part of the table. It's the owner who makes up part of the table, and then the last leg would be the culture itself that make up the table that is DC. Because if the owner was not a good owner, then the culture wouldn't be what it is. Then the people coming through the door wouldn't be what it is. So everything's dependent on the other leg to maintain the structure and integrity of the business, but of everything else, of the culture. Everything else is dependent on the coaches. Like everything's intertwined into it to create exactly what it is, which is a fantastic establishment.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, it does.
It feels like it makes sense, and another part's like, no, it doesn't. But
yeah, no, it does make sense, because it's always interesting that, because you can have a really fantastic. Hello, Miss Linda. You can have. It's 4:15. Why are you still up?
Wow.
Oh,
Where are you, Linda?
Well, overseas. But how are you? Well, we are so well. Oh my
How
gosh.
are you right now? Do you have a coffee? Why don't you have coffee? Why are you up at 4
She's probably like kicking goals, because she is a powerhouse business coach, kick-ass woman. She's probably like just just closing contracts and doing amazing stuff, because that's what she does. That's it. What is that?
That's LeBron James' victory dance when he scores.
Of course it is. Why did I not know that? So
why did you not know
why did I not know that?
He's the king. Anyways,
right. So clearly we all need to do LeBron's dance.
Completely.
So you're great. So great to see you. Anyhow, Miss Linda. It's interesting that you can have like a really nice establishment and then have people who are just kind of like meh, and it not be welcoming, and then you can have other places which are literally like one punching bag and a dumbbell, and it's just like home and absolute best place to be.
Yeah.
And it's interesting what makes that up, because and across the board it can be lots of different places. But if we're talking about like a gym or DC or somewhere like that, we literally know that it could have been like a couple of mats on the ground,
100%.
and it would have been like super amazing. Now, of course, it's just like bigger than Ben-Hur and still amazing, and taking over the whole block and stuff. But starting out, so many people are like, I started this in like literally in my shed, and it was pretty much like cement, and I had one bag and one set of gloves, and that was it.
Mhm.
And then gloves had to be taped up because they just kept falling apart with the little pinky falling out or whatever.
Yeah.
And it is just like the best thing ever. And then you have, like I said, other people who have like the most amazing establishments with all of the things and the equipment and everything looks amazing stuff, and there's nobody there, or there's people there, but it doesn't feel like anything, because I mean there's so many. If you think about gyms, because that's what we're talking about, there's so many gyms. Like there's a gym on every corner, so it's not like there's not somewhere for you to go. Like if you literally want to go and work out, you can find somewhere with also different price points and stuff as well. But it's like, so what makes people go to where they go?
That's good. Yeah, that's a good question. What makes, and yeah, like it's obviously the culture is a big thing.
Can you see the red? Does that have, like it looks, the red comes across there. Can you see that?
Yeah.
How weird is that? Like every time I lift up the bottle, the red comes across, and I don't even know why. It's just freaking me out. What can I say? Stay focused.
Don't go chasing shiny things. Yeah, like it's a great observation. I think everyone has that, has had that when they go to one, like take coffee joints for example. Like in Melbourne, there's literally one every 5 meters. But what separates the good ones from the mediocre ones, and then what separates the good from the great? Like it's that culture. And even if the price is a bit more expensive, it's about the customer service. It's about how they make you feel once you're there, but also when you're just like, oh my god, shit, I got to go to the gym. But then that's how I was feeling, because obviously in the morning I drove straight after work and come down here, slept, and then the next day I was like, oh, okay, I've got to get up and move. But I was like, nah, that's awesome. You get to go to DC first. And I was like, shit, okay, I get to go to DC first. But then it brought back that flood of thoughts and memories when I was, going through some of my hard times and didn't know what to say, do, or think. Like that team and those guys were there, so it was brilliant to get back here and be able to go to an establishment that I love.
And they're really, and I guess that's what they're really good at is, it's almost like the epitome of holding space, because they don't. I don't go there, so I can only imagine. But it's almost like the container is set up for your healing and for your connection, without them pandering to you and babying you in terms of your growth.
100%.
So it's kind of like, we're here, we'll help you, we'll push you. We're not going to see you in your bruised and brokenness. We will see who you can become, and we will be here for you and to help you do that, as much or as little as you want. But we're not going to be like, let's be like, get on the mat. I like, and I've posted I've seen you post the video of you training with Mitch.
Yeah.
Mitch could have could have tapped you out. Like you could have
snapped me in half.
That's
like,
it.
Chicken wing.
That's right. He was just like, I'm sure he was checked out in about 5% capacity,
if that.
Yeah. But it was very much about, he was meeting you where you were at.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I think that's what makes a really great family and a great home, is that he was willing to meet you where you were at on the mats. Like he was willing to, and you were rolling around and you were getting tired and frustrating, and he was not giving you an inch. Like he was not beating you, but he was matching where you were, so that you had to dig deep through it.
100%.
And there were other videos, because your father and I watched you that day, and it was just like, oh, look at the baby. It's just like, he's getting beaten, but that's okay.
Hard.
but it was about it was a metaphor for life. You know, like you were showing up. It was you trying something new. It was you giving yourself the chance to try and fail. It was you trying something new, knowing that you had a capacity inside of you, but didn't know how to bring it out. And so he helped you do that. And I think it was just, because obviously nothing is just about nothing, you know, because everything has to have a reason and a metaphor for life. It was really interesting to watch him meet you and force you to step up while still not giving in to you, but forcing you to think about, so what are you going to do from here? And he was still, you know, in the thing and rolling around and stuff, and there was a video that went for like 6 minutes. But he was meeting you there in that, going, so what are you going to do next? So what's the next thing you're going to do? Where are you putting your foot?
And that's exactly what he did. Like he was meeting me, but then he'd be like, okay, do this. Okay, the reason, like, okay, so for now, because he'd noticed when I was stuck and I didn't have the knowledge and capacity and time under my belt to know what move to do next. So he'd be like, okay, cool, go put your foot here, like go to underhooks and like take them out and all this kind of stuff. But then once I got to that position, then okay, cool, that he would meet me and same type of thing. We'd wrestle for a little bit, and if I was too far out of my element, then he'd coach me a little bit, and then like sometimes he'd just snap like that, make me tap, see how I was going, and then he'd give me a couple of breathers, and then it's like, cool, let's get back at it. So it was really about, like, it's a testament to him and what he does, where he's able, like, it's not just me that he does it with, it's with everyone. Like he's done it with I've seen it with the coaches and everyone that walks through. If he's rolling with anyone, it's okay, cool, teaching. And you know, there are guys who he rolls with that do the same thing to him, and everyone's like does that with everyone rolling. It's a sport that's just so respectful, but at the same time it's like you go hard as you can, and it's like, okay, the reason I did this is because you did that, and then you debrief afterwards, and then you know you do the little tap, and then it's back to going after it again, and that process is just rinse and repeated as many times as needed.
Absolutely, because see, I don't think it would be enjoyable at all to have somebody's like foot in your face and you know somebody's bum cheek up against you, like I don't think that, but that's just, you kind of just going with it, and it just looks painful and like hard work to me. So because he said to me, you can come at any time if you like, and I was like, not on your life, because I'm precious, you know, like a little owl that would hurt me. So having somebody's foot underneath my chin or in my eye or something, that's not my idea of fun. So I'll just sit on the sideline and like cheer people on, yay, because that works for me. But I love how he has influenced you in how you show up, but also influences the family and the culture, because it is set up by the owner. Like I said, you can go to any sort of gym, you know, whether it's a franchise owned or not, and be like, this is just so. I mean, like it's nice, but there's
something about it.
Something that's just not.
Is missing.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I've gone to like those exact same gyms where it's that establishment. It feels like there's like great establishment, great equipment, and all these other things, but it's pretty tricky.
I know.
But yeah, like it doesn't feel like there's. It feels like the soul of the gym is missing. Like it feels like it's kind of cold-hearted and just about the money. And like while like DC is an establishment, and obviously they do need money, and like they charge for their time and services, which everyone should, regardless of whatever you're doing. If you're making candles and doing all this kind of stuff.
Who's making candles?
They know who's making candles.
Somebody's making candles. I need to buy candles. I love candles. Who's making candles? Do they smell nice? I don't like anything orange. I don't like orange, but anything else,
Nothing citrusy.
nothing citrusy, lemon or things is not a thing.
We'll debrief afterwards.
Debrief,
Yeah.
hit me up because I need candles.
So yeah, like everyone should be charging, but yeah, when you find that place, that's for like that, and everything's situational dependence. Like if you find that gym that doesn't like that has that soul for you, and it's not my cup of tea, like have at it. That's so brilliant that you found that. So just go after it. Whereas like I need that establishment that is that family first, because that way I get that feeling of it's okay to fail. It's encouraged. It's encouraged to fail, to get so far out of your comfort zone where you just have no idea. So that way it's like, do you know why you did that? Have no idea why you did that. Like it went, and like they've asked me that before, like why do you know why you did that? No, I just seen that position and it looked like if I put my hand, leg, face there, then I wasn't going to die. And they're like, that's pretty much why I do it.
Yeah. So fantastic. Excellent, Miss Bronwyn. Excellent. Because we are all about supporting people in business, which is what we do. So, looks like Miss Bronwyn sells candles.
She does sell candles.
Well,
she sells candles.
She sells candles.
She doesn't give them away.
Oh, hell, she wouldn't give them. She sells candles. We all need to buy candles.
Indeed.
From Miss Bronwyn. So we need Miss Bronwyn to be posting stuff about her candles. So let's have a conversation about that as well.
Indeed.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so I think it's a really, like, I love that we're talking about, because basically what we do is we try to find where we fit and where we belong.
Mm.
And so we will go and, we'll go and look for that wherever we can find it. Hopefully the internet's going okay here. What?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. We'll check in with that no. So we try to find where we can feel as though we belong, because we're always looking for our people.
Mm.
We're always looking for, the people who get us and understand us. And, I can't tell you, I'm one of those people who I don't care if it is the last thing, limited edition, last thing on the face of the planet. If I go to a shop with bad service or that has a really bad vibe, I'm done. I will not spend my money.
So that was exactly me. I went to DFO here in Canberra. I needed to buy some shoes and went into ASICS and was ready to drop close to $300 on a pair of shoes. And literally from where the chair is here to us, there was staff members talking and they could see what was in. I had no idea. So, but I was like, forget this. That customer service is trash, and so I dipped.
Mm. So ASICS, DFO, pick your game up.
That's it.
Well, we'll have to tag him in here because that's just not okay. Your customer service sucks.
It's ass right now.
So it's not acceptable that you're not serving people. So you need to like picking your game up. Right. So it's about that comfortability. It's about that whole. I feel really nice, and I've also walked into shops where I didn't want to sing, but the customer service was so amazing, and so I had to buy something. I was just like, let me look at the sale rack, because I tried on things and they were so bad and they didn't fit, but little Honeyboo was there and she was bringing me 15 things off the rack and stuff, and that's probably her game plan, that she just does it because people are like, well, if I keep doing enough and be nice enough, she's going to buy something. That works. Yep. Huh?
That law of averages.
That law of averages, that's it. She was like, if she brings me in, if I bring her enough stuff and is nice enough, she's going to buy it, which I did. And so I will go back there. So everybody wants to have that whole, that's where I fit and that's where I belong. And I'm hoping that, that's why people go to demos, is because they get that. Well, they keep coming back, so they must be doing something.
Must be doing something right.
Must be doing something right, because otherwise, you wouldn't come back and hang out with him there for nothing. So, which is awesome. I'm curious about how, when you go to somewhere like, say, DC, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and so how you talked a little bit earlier on about how you went in because you were a student there. And so then how do you go as a student, but also as a peer and a colleague? And how do you then, because you love Mitch and Dan and the rest of the team and stuff, so having business conversations with Mitch about stuff, but then also being like, well, Mitch is brilliant at the class stuff. How do you switch between the hats of so being a student there, but then also being a peer and a business owner, having those conversations with him? How do you switch between the hats? And how do you know? Is it something that just happens subconsciously? Like how?
I think it's the question part a little bit stumped, but it's all about seeking and searching out knowledge.
Okay. Oh, I like that. Keep going.
So let's take it like when we start something new, for example, and we have no idea. We're talking about how I was rolling with him. So let's use that example.
Sure.
I had no idea when I first started, and because I respect and love him so much, and the rest of the team, I would go and ask them questions, but then I was also going and watching my own knowledge about it. So then I would come back, and then I would try something new, and then I'd ask questions, and then same thing again. I'd go away and try and find some more knowledge. So I'm not really doing anything different.
Okay.
It's just business. So it's that same thing where I'm searching for knowledge, but the rolling just looks different. So now instead of I'm rolling on the mats in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I'm rolling in the mats, which is the business world and my own gym. So then I'm able to go to him and say, look, this is a problem that I've had. How have you dealt with it? So then again, like he gives me what I need. He doesn't give me any more, any less. And he doesn't tell me what to do. This is what you need to do. He goes, it's always an open-ended question. Have you thought about this? Or do you think this would work? It's always, the emphasis is always back on me to try and do something. And if it fails, like, okay, cool. Like it's never like, man, like you should have done this. Why didn't you do that? It's like, bro, that's sick. Like you've gone out there, you've put it all on the table. What's next? Like it's always about the why haven't you failed more? It's a weird concept, I know. But why haven't you failed more? Why haven't you tried this? Okay, did that work? Yes, awesome. Let's do something different. Let's continue to build on that. So it's not just getting to a place where, okay, we're here, it works, let's rest on our laurels. It's like, okay, cool, you've done that. Are you at a capacity to push it to the next level? No, I'm not. Awesome. Let's just chill here for a little bit until you are. Then when I am, chances are that I'll fail forward. So it's like, okay, then we'll go back and debrief, and then we'll step forward again. So it's all about that same searching for knowledge, but it just looks different to the rolling I did before.
And that's kind of, is that the same thought process or mentality and stuff that you take for the warriors who come through demos?
Them failing forward.
Yeah, then because you the whole concept of changing your lifestyle by going into somewhere like demos and getting fit and getting healthier and stuff like that is very much about being uncoordinated, thinking you're going to be the dogs there you've got two left feet and
I get where you're at now.
you're going to fall over and stuff. So it does that same concept, that same analogy work for people there and failing, trying to do a push up and can't.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely one of the things that I try and do. So I've incorporated something where we're throwing tennis balls at the wall with both hands, and they both have to stay, like the ball has to stay in the designated hand. So it's getting people out of their comfort zone, because do you know how retarded it is to throw left-handed? Super retarded. If that's your non-dominant hand and you try and throw, you look like a fool.
Right.
Myself is included.
I don't think you're allowed to say retarded anymore.
Okay, my mistake. But it looks and feels.
Well, that's fairly easy. You just go
when you throw a ball and you're trying to catch it. So you have to throw the ball at the wall, catch it, and then throw again. So it's.
I think I'd be good at that.
Yeah.
Yes. That's exactly.
Matt knows all about it. So it's not just okay. I'm getting you to throw the ball at the wall to, just for the sake of it. It's getting you out of your comfort zone. It's you have to search and concentrate for the same motor patterns that you do on the right. You have to introduce to the left side of your body. So it's making you think, and I'm getting you to search within yourself, within your body, to try and take what you already know, but just apply it to something different. And then from there, then it's going to apply. I hope that ripple effect not only just applies to the gym. It's okay, so going and searching for, if you want a new job, what does that job entail, and what and who do I need to be to get that job, that role, that next promotion. If you've got your love interest, and like same thing again, who and what do you need to be, and what do you need to search out to get the knowledge and know how to kick and win that goal.
Is it the medicine balls, slam balls, or is it like balls?
It's stress balls, bouncy stress balls.
Right. Okay. Oh.
So yeah, it's.
Nat doesn't like them by the sounds of things.
No one likes them.
Oh, okay.
You feel so uncoordinated. It doesn't feel right. It's uncomfortable. It's icky. It's nothing's working for you. And the first time I did it, I don't know why I started, but I did. And for a good hour and a half, possibly two, I was just throwing the ball up and down against the wall. And it started out as a workout because I would aim straight and the ball would end up over here.
Ah, they're a nightmare.
They are. And they are the death of people. But again, like, nothing is always about nothing. It's about how are we going to react and cope when you're perfect with the right hand, because that's your dominant hand, but then you go to and throw to your left. And then when I say, like, balls can only stay in the left hand, when it's been 5-10 minutes where nothing has gone your way, you can't catch the ball, you can't throw the ball, nothing's working, so you're beating yourself up. Like, how are you then going to cope under that stress and duress? Because that then translates to life. You may go to a job where you're just not getting it, and for whatever reason, things just aren't clicking. Exactly the same thing with the balls. Like that left hand, for the first 45 minutes, I just couldn't get my left hand down pat. But that 47 minute, okay, I got 2 in a row. Then that 50 minutes, I got 5 to 6 in a row. And then I was like, okay, then I hit that 60 mark, and things were starting to come a little bit easier. They weren't smooth, but I could throw the ball, catch it, then throw again. And now I'm at a place where I'm able to smoothly do it, where I'm not running the length of the gym to try and catch these balls. But it's all about just slowing the process down, searching and seeking that knowledge to then press forward.
So is it a pretty common occurrence to have people running the length of the gym?
It is controlled chaos.
Controlled chaos. Nice. Because I could imagine that they would be going in all kinds of directions.
Especially when you have to, it's two balls and you have to throw and catch in a row. So you throw one, catch one, throw one, catch one. And especially when you go left, it just doesn't compute at all.
That's fun. I bet they love it.
They love it.
Nat and Bronwyn, you just love it. I can tell.
I love it.
Oh my God. I think that those need to be recorded because I would like to see those. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Probably not fun for y'all if you have to be running up and down the thing, but for those of us that aren't there, we would love to partake in seeing that adventure unfold for you. I think that's a thing.
I think so.
I think that's the thing. So next time we do that.
During the week.
That would be so cool. Fantastic. So how y'all doing? You hanging in there? So tell me, do you have any questions? How's your week? Do you have it planned? What's going on? What's happening? So do you have your bags packed? I see that you did a post and stuff. You talked about, is your gym bag packed? Are you ready to go? Mm-hmm. Is your plan for the week done? Sunday night, after you finish watching us, don't go now, but after you finish watching us, have you got yourself ready to go?
Oh, you're talking about them. I'm talking about me.
No, I'm talking to the fan. Cool. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Okay. Do you think?
I'm
here, but I think my bag's back.
Yeah, no, I'm talking because that post you did about making sure that everything's ready to go and stuff, and it's just like, are you ready? Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready for that? Isn't that a song? That starts in a song. Y'all ready for this? What song is that?
I don't know.
Oh, y'all ready for this? No. Yeah, I can't remember.
Please don't do it.
Wait, it's a good one. So if you have any questions, let us know if you want to comment.
Question, comment if you got anything, or we can just continue to do what we're doing. If there's any subjects that you want us to touch on, we're happy to try and swing that through. And
so what's been your biggest celebration this week?
What is it?
So Mrs. Zoe said all 27 lists ready to go. Nice. My daughter has finished work, so we'll be helping me stay accountable to get everything off said 27 lists. Or I know. So are we all ready for this? And it's a really cool rappy song, and I don't know, but see, somebody knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So can we look at why there are 27 lists? Perhaps having a conversation about those 27 lists would be a good place to start. What was I talking about? I said something about something. Yes, biggest celebration this week. Last week.
Biggest celebration.
Yeah, something you would just like.
I guess thinking about moving forward, I think was my biggest celebration. Nope, scratch that. So realizing, what is that?
Miss Zoe said it's an exaggeration, but my lists are realistic this time.
Okay.
Fantastic. And I know it was an exaggeration, but not by much, because I know how you work, and I know that you have a list on a list on a list. You are the queen of lists. I don't have a list. I need to get a list. Not 27 lists, but but I like that. Yeah. So scrap that. What was the next one?
So I guess my biggest win was that I'm only 6 weeks in. Because I'm going for upwards of 12 hours a day, and like going from nothing and going through my journey where I haven't been able to work or do anything that for any length of time, to go from 0 to 12 hours plus, to, I guess that's one of my biggest takeaways is, but then also shining the light on, like, okay, so why am I doing this? What's my outcome? And again, like my reason why is that I'm helping others. Like I'm a lot better when I come from a place of service. That's in the Defence Force was always others before yourself, and in any capacity. Like if and everyone who's in there would tell you, if you needed to lay your life on the line for your team, do it. There'd be, and I was exactly the same. Like I was no different. If I would have happily given up my life and so that my teammates and team members would be safe. And that's obviously it's not to that extreme now, but if I want to keep all my people, clients and friends safe. So it's, again, looking at it from that place of service, in that service role of, okay, I'm giving back to those at the gym. What else can I do? What else can I do? And if that leads me down a different path, but still within like the gym and for my clients, like, okay, cool, let's dive down that rabbit hole a little bit. Let's keep going. So coming from that place of service, and after only being in for 6 weeks, I think is definitely one of those big wins.
Absolutely, that's phenomenal. And because it really is a testament to the human spirit, isn't it?
Yeah.
So to be able to find what you love, because I think that's part of it as well. It's almost like that you have to be doing what you love, because otherwise you wouldn't want to be doing 12-hour days.
Absolutely
or
not.
At the other end of it, if your life depended on having to do 12-hour days to either feed your family or to keep your house, and so you're not homeless or whatever, well, then I can understand that part of it as well. But I think that would deplete your soul very quickly. But having a conversation about the need that you have to find something that lights your soul up, because 12-hour days are long days.
It's a long time.
It's a long time. And so for everybody here, thinking about what would you love to do for, and not even 12 hours, 2 hours. So start there.
Yeah.
What would you love to do for 2 hours a day that you're not currently doing? If you're already doing that, then fantastic. But what would you love to do for 2 hours a day, and doing it for 12 hours? That I would imagine the combination of the tiredness but the satisfaction at the same time.
Yeah.
That whole, the giving, but it fills up your cup at the same time. So it's that, even though it's a give and a take, it's still you're giving of yourself in service, which is helping people to then get their goals and end up where they are and stuff, which is important. What are you doing?
No, I'm just going to do a little snap. Don't about that.
I don't know. We're doing other.
Yeah,
because
going Instagram.
Because you have to go Instagram. Oh my God, that is so clear.
Anyways,
it is so clear. This is not clear. Why is this not clear? Maybe if we come, no, going closer is not helpful. I scared everybody. Sorry about that. I should have given a heads up. Like, coming in. Yes. So, what were you doing that?
What were we talking about? I know something stupid.
No, it wasn't. It was very interesting. It wasn't stupid. It was interesting because we were talking about doing what you love for 12 hours a day. And if you don't love it,
you're right, and because it does, like, working. Everyone's been in that role where that job just sucks the life out of them. For me, it was a public service here in Canberra when I absolutely hated and still do hate sitting in front of the desk. It just, there's nothing that just sucks the soul out of me more than spending 8 hours a day working for someone else. Whereas when I'm doing this, I'm working for myself, and if it fails, then 100% of that failure is on me. And no, it doesn't do that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because then I kind of gets me. So yeah, like, then I'm not ready.
But then how can we say hello to people?
Just say hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, see, it's hard to find good help around here, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's actually, mate, I can't think. I was in my zone. Cheers for that.
So you're working 8 hours a day. You didn't like being behind the counter, and if you fail,
Yeah, and like, so yeah, it's so scary when that failure solely rests with you. When we were setting it up for the first time in my life, I was legitimately having panic attacks. And did you know that? Did I tell you that?
no.
When I was over, like, we were going through this? Okay.
No.
So yeah, I would have panic attacks where it felt like I couldn't breathe. My lungs just felt like they weren't getting any air at all, and I was like, what is going on? Because my whole life I've never had it. But this it terrified me to the point where I knew it was coming. I knew every single time when like, my body just didn't feel right. So I needed to flip the script on it and look at it from a different angle. So what I did was I used that fear and I flipped it and was like, this puts me so far out of my comfort zone. This is awesome. This, for the first time since 2017, I'm actually able to feel something, because for so long I wasn't able to. Being on depression medication and those kind of things, I was zombied out for so long where I couldn't feel any highs, any lows. It was just a state of numbness that whole entire time. So I had to flip it, and it was like, okay, cool, I'm feeling something. This is awesome. Let's find more. So then it's actively seeking out those things that absolutely terrify me to the point where I'm having these panic attacks, and I flip the script and I use that to be like, cool, that's kind of like my fuel now. Whatever I'm doing, if I'm not so scared to the point of panic attacks, then I just don't do it, because I know, okay, cool, it's not that big of a deal if I fail. Nah, if I don't, nah, that's cool. Whereas now, like, searching with those panic attacks, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so terrified. I love this. Let's go. Let's have at it. Let's go balls to the wall. And after 6 weeks of being in the business, it's kind of worked out more beneficial for me. But then that ripple effect is also for everyone at the gym, because that keeps me on my game. I'm actively searching for new things to take me out of my comfort zone. But then I also get to bring you guys along as well, in obviously within the safe space and whatever works for you and your time frame. Because once we get out of our comfort zone, we can never go back to that, which is brilliant. Like, why would you want to when you learn a new skill, but you just leave it on the shelf? Like, why would you want to do that? So when I expand good ways, you expand as well good ways.
And it's a really great point, because do people write comments and stuff? Are they saying stuff?
No.
Okay. Because going to somewhere new can be scary. Like,
Terrifying.
There's always the bridge between where you are right now and how uncomfortable that is, and then where you want to be in that new place, and that bridge of going, this is terrifying. What if they don't like me?
100%.
What if I can't do it?
Yep.
And I think that 99.9% of people end up in that space where they go, this is really scary. And most people will tell you that the scariest thing is the drive from when you have to go to that place, that thing, the drive between your house or wherever you're leaving from and getting there is always the worst, because it's that whole, I don't even know, what am I going to do? What if I drop a weight on my head? What if I'm the most uncoordinated person there?
True.
Like, what if nobody likes me? Like, so we go through all of that stuff, and that's a natural thing because we're doing something new, which again is completely fine. But it's about understanding that that's what everybody goes through. Because everybody who walks through the door, until they're comfortable and have been there for a while, are completely new. And everybody who's now a warrior, who's now part of the family, they will talk about the amount of people who was like, I don't want to come by myself, I need to bring a friend and stuff, because it's so scary to come to somewhere new. And then, like I said, once you've been there a couple of times, it's like, this is so good. Oh my God, I love that. Being there this week, starting a new job, was freaking out. Just, oh my God, I love that. Okay, so congratulations on the new job. Can't believe you didn't share it with us, but that's a side note. Different conversation. I'm sending you messages after this. Why did I not know? So congratulations, but it's true. We go, oh my God, I don't even know if they're going to like me, and like, what if I don't know where it is, and then like, what if I stutter and all that sort of stuff, and that's a natural, normal thing that we go through.
And then when you do it, like, you realize, hey, it's not really that bad. Like, once we hype it up internally so much that we obviously, what our brain wants to do is keep us safe and keep us comfortable in what we know. Going back, like, it's a defense mechanisms when we were fighting off, dinosaurs and all that kind of stuff. Whereas we're not doing that now. We hype it up and over exaggerate it so much. But once we've actually pushed through it and we open that store, we go to that new job, we realize, hey, it's actually really not that bad. I was just overthinking it so much. And then we can actually enjoy the process a bit more. We can understand that, hey, once I get into this new job, I get to meet a whole new personality, a whole different set of dynamics that I've never been introduced to before. Can I use all this stuff? Yep, awesome. Can I, like, is this going to be stuff where you can't? Yeah, that's awesome too. So, and again, like, starting a new business, going from what you knew before to finding out new things, it's awesome to find out.
Yeah, absolutely. So you need to post it. Where's the new job? What's this about? I'm so. Oh.
No, I want to do it. Yeah.
Oh, look at you! See on Instagram, just giving them a little sneak peek.
That's it. That's really a little bit.
That's right. It's like, come on over to wherever we are so that they can come and see it. Yeah, and so understanding that that's a natural, normal thing, and be okay with that. Like, be cool, because there's nothing wrong with you. It's normal. What happens is that when we do get to that place where we go, so what am I going to do here? Being able to talk yourself through doing the thing is always going to be. I came over from Facebook, Laugh Out Loud, left Insta. Oh, I'm so glad you are here. See, I love it. People are finding us here. It's fantastic. When you're faced with the what about self-care mentality? Okay, yep, we're gonna get there in a second. So when you get to that point where you go, so am I going to do the thing or am I not? Each time you get to that point where you're going to do the thing and you don't do it, the next time you get there is going to be harder for you to say yes.
Sure.
So if you just say getting to the gym, for example, if you like, yep, I'm booked in, and then you get in the car and you're like, nope, can't do this, the chances of you then getting back in the car again next time and going are going to be, doesn't mean that you can't, but they will be twice as hard, because you will be having a reminder pattern that goes, it was really scary, and the last time I couldn't do it, so this time, like, I'm probably not going to do it again, and then I'm going to work. And you're working at Autograph. Oh, they have the best clothes ever. Autograph, Taking Shape. Get a job at Taking Shape as well, because they have great clothes. Oh my God, I love Autograph. Staff discount, hopefully. They have no staff at the moment, so I've been learning on the run. That's it. That's right. You'll learn so fast when you either like sink or swim, because if you got time to stand around and read manuals and stuff, you learn. You'll have the memory of it this way. Boom. I love it.
That's shame that's what they've learned.
That's it. We just, you know how we learn best? Chucked in.
Sink or swim.
That's it.
Sink or swim.
Yep. And good thing about us, even though we don't like water, we swim really well. So, or maybe we float. I don't know. But I've killed it. Why? I'm not surprised. That's what we do. That's how you do it. Like, you'll be running the place shortly. So what about self-care, mentally and physically, when you lead a busy life? Any tips? I believe, and this is just my personal opinion, and I'm sharing here with a disclaimer, I do not believe that there is a work-life balance.
Nope. Because
basic math says that if you are spending 5 days at something and then you have 2 days off, that's not a balance. It's mathematically impossible to spend 5 days at a place where you're spending sometimes 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours, and then come home for 2 days and then be like, this is the balance.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe that happens, particularly also if you incredibly love what you do. Like, you're doing 12-hour days. Mm-hmm. The balance between having 12 hours off, you're literally clawing your face off, because it's like, I like, you just love what you're doing so much that if you had to just, balance 5 days off for 12 hours a day, you'd be like,
it would be trash.
I just hate this.
Yeah.
So I guess in terms of being gentle with yourself around, I love what I do. I just love it. And I know that I can work 5 days in a row, or I can work 8 days. And then I know that on that 9th day, that's when I need a full day off. That's when I need a massage. That's when I need, to go and buy something new at Autograph. Like that's where I need that. So it's really about having no judgment around the fact that you're either all in and you absolutely love what you do, and there's not a balance. Because I think a lot of times as well, because we're busy, we've got life and families and jobs and cars and cats and dogs and sports, and like, we've got all of these things, and we're meant to place them nicely during the week. Yeah. And then like 2 days we're supposed to just like shut everything else off and
everything into self-care into 2 days. Like, you're right. It's impossible and idiotic to think like that's, and I can understand why like people binge drink on the weekend, because they're like, this is the only self-care that I have. I'm just going to take it. Whereas, it's all about that slower process of us. Okay, well, I understand that I work 12 hours a day, sometimes 7 days a week, but there are times during the week where I need to have my time. I'm booked in and blacked out a time slot for a massage every single time, because I know that if I'm not performing at capacity, then my friends and clients at the gym, they don't get that same capacity as well. So it's all about coming back to us, and then realizing the ripple effect. So
yeah, and that's a really great point that you bring up, that you work 12 hours a day, even if it's 7 days a week, and yet you've blacked out in your diary, booked in each week for a 1 or a 1.5 or a 2-hour massage. So in terms of if we would go with the normal work-life balance, you're having a 1-hour massage as opposed to working, 50 hours a week. There's not a balance. No, but that the time that you take for yourself during that hour helps to fill the cup to get you. And then there's other things, with the stretching and what nutrition. So having a look at, because Demos is all about the holistic, it's all about the whole of life, the big pie, rather than just one piece. So while exercise and fitness is one piece, nutrition is another. Relationships is fun and joy and all of those sorts of things. So looking at, if you're spending 80% of the time at your work, what's the other 20? So some people can survive on 5 hours of sleep a night. That's not me, by the way.
Yeah, that's definitely.
I'm definitely not. So I'm not one of those people who like to get up early, because if I get up early, then I'm not a happy person. But being okay with that. So figuring out for yourself. So if you've got this whole pie, and 80% of that is at work, then what's the other 20? So if you take 10 away from that from sleep, what's the other 10 that you can do that fills your soul? And it may well simply be sitting down in the morning for 5 minutes and enjoying the aroma of your first coffee. I love my first coffee of a morning. Oh, it's heaven. Glorious. That's for me, that's self-care right there.
Yeah, 100%.
So it doesn't need to be this whole, ritual and it can be, but it doesn't need to be weekends away and setting up an altar and a ritual and having sage burning and, it can be, but it doesn't need to be. It can be something as simple as, I'm not going to talk to another human, another animal, another spiritual soul until I've finished my first cup of coffee of a morning. And so everybody in the household, that's it, whether they're living or not, knows, don't come near me until I finish my first cup of coffee. And then after that, I'll have a conversation with you. So whatever self-care is for you, go with that, but without the judgment, because I think society has done a really good job of telling us how we should be having self-care.
Yeah, this is what self-care needs to look like.
This is what it needs to look like.
You need to go away. You need to be by the beach and... No, you need to do whatever brings your soul peace and happiness. That's one thing that I've found doing this, is that if I'm not loving it, then I'm not giving 100%, and then those who I'm affecting, they're not getting 100%. So if I'm not getting my self-care in, and I'm not, building myself back up in comfort, then my people don't get to be at 100%.
That's right.
And then I feel like trash because I'm not giving them all that I have.
That's exactly right. And so starting to think about what works for you, because that's the thing, where your tipping point is, when you have gone too far over. And I talk a lot about, everybody knows that if I've gone and laid down in bed and I'm watching Pride and Prejudice, Mr. Darcy with a pizza, I've hit my point. I don't go and lay down on the bed and watch something unless I've reached that point. So if I'm sitting up right here in my office, that I'm doing fine. If I'm laying down, it's like, oh, Mum's probably gone that little bit too far and she's just taking some time out. So whatever that is, go with that, but without the judgment. Just be okay. And so whatever makes you happy, as long as you're not hurting anyone, obviously. But do that without worrying about what other people say. My self-care is a few hours after everyone's. That's it. Absolutely love being on the phone and stuff. We have, and it's so incredibly interesting that all three of us can sit in the same room and we can be playing on our phones.
Yeah.
And
it's just be awesome.
It's awesome because we're with each other, but we're not having to we're happy to talk, but we're not talking because we're just while we're each doing our own thing. And so, you have these people who be like, oh, you need to put your devices away and stuff like that. Well, no, because the conversations that we have are so impactful that we don't need to make small talk just for the sake of it, where it's like, oh, now I've got to talk to them. It's like, you know what? I just like being in your energy. That's enough. That feeds my soul. I'm happy. And if I want to have a look at what's happening with the latest short haircut, and son's watching some meme thing, and his father is playing his little bubble game, then everybody's happy. And so it's just that whole, and we can do that like for an hour or so, and it's like, oh, okay, that's cool, everybody's cup is full, and then we're fine, as opposed to trying to force a conversation that's like, so
yeah, like it's
wow.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I've hated, is that, like, sometimes I just don't want to be around people. That's just who I am. Like, I'm very happy and awesome with my own company, but I'm also happy to be in the company of others. And sometimes I want to talk, and sometimes I just don't. Sometimes I just want to chill with you, and sometimes I just want you to chill with me in that space and area where, if I want to talk, awesome. If you want to talk, that's cool. But if we don't, then there's no forcing it. It's just,
that's right.
It's just awesome to be with each other.
Yeah. And so I guess what we're talking about is figuring out what works for you and what makes you happy, and do that, even if it goes against what society says that you should be doing, or what your counselor says, or your relationship guru, or the people at the PTA or whatever. Is that an American thing, isn't it? PTA, the school thing. Let's go with that. Like whatever they're saying that you need to be doing, forget that. Go with what makes you happy. And an example as well here is that the Big Fella and I have our own offices. So we spend all of our time in our offices, and then we come for little visits. So we'll either meet in the kitchen, or he'll come and say hello, or I'll come into his office and say hello, and then we'll go back, because we actually enjoy our own spaces. He watches football, which I think is just ridiculous. Trash, like, hello, I have no interest. And I'm here watching something to do with trauma of the brain, or trashing and multi-level marketing on YouTube. So he's just like, what the hell is that rubbish you're watching? So there's no point in us trying to be in the same space, because we would be like, oh, because he watches television all the time as well. It's like, oh, that's craziness. But anybody who would go off what society says in terms of relationships and stuff would go, well, that's not healthy to do it that way. It is amazing, because the time that we have together is so great that it's not forced.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the worst when you try.
I know, you're trying to force it. It's like, oh, we have to spend time together. No, we don't. No, we don't.
We ain't gonna do a damn thing.
We ain't gonna do a damn thing. If I want to talk to you, I don't have to talk to you. If I want to talk to you, like, we're gonna bunker down. We're gonna talk for 2 hours. Okay, cool. That's no worries. I'm here for it. Actually, you know what? I'm not up for it today. That's fine. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Like go with whatever. So that's a really long way around about to say we've gone. I know. So hopefully that was helpful. Please tell me that was helpful.
It's not in that run sprints.
That's right. If it's not in that, you're going to be doing that whole like 7 balls up against the wall. Like that's just it, juggling. Because we judge ourselves so harshly about what we think we need to do, or what we think is important for us to do based on what we see somebody else doing, who is trying to keep up with us when we're trying to keep up with them. And then it's just that backwards and forwards, whereas they're probably thinking, I wish Nat would just ease up a bit and have a day off so that I can. And like, I've seen Christy, and she's done some amazing stuff, but I can't be like her, so I'm just going to cry over here in the corner. And then Christy's like, oh, I just don't want to do it today. I'm just going to sit down and play with my phone because I don't want to talk to my small humans. And then having that conversation to go, oh my gosh, thank God you do the same thing as me. Oh, I love that. Like, that's what that's about. And so I have no judgment around that. We are so judgy, McJudge face of ourselves. Not a good place to be. So, and because when you judge yourself, then you feel bad. So then when you feel bad, you have a horrible feeling that goes along with that. So then you're either doing that thing and feeling guilty about it, or then you're not doing that thing, or you're doing something which you're using as a substitute for that thing. So rather than just like, I'm going to play on my phone for 2 hours, you're just going to be like, I'm not going to play on my phone. What else can I do? Oh my God, I'm going to go and drive Kyle insane. I'm going to eat something. I'm going to chop down some wood. Like, I'm going to do something, as opposed to, you know what? I love playing on my phone for 2 hours. I'm going to do it. Don't talk to me. Kids, get away. That's it. So if we did that, and we had the joy and the happiness around, because that's what they say all the time, when you wake up, you're supposed to like meditate, and you're supposed to be in the moment. You're not supposed to look at your phones. I enjoy looking at my phone when I wake up. I can choose not to, but I like looking at it because I like to see what's going on. I like to say hello to my friends. There's usually somebody who's, put something on Facebook that I like to comment and whatever. Or I could just as easily leave it, but I don't judge myself to go, oh my God. So, those experts have said that if I wake up and look at my phone, therefore I'm just a really bad person, and I should be meditating for 15 and 20 minutes so that I can be bringing in the Zen, and I can have my gratitude practice, and it's just like, go away. I don't want to. I like my phone.
Yeah, if it works for you, then do that. Obviously, like, you need to be aware of the benefits of both.
Of course.
Like have the knowledge of both different routes. But yeah, like and then just do what you want to do with having that knowledge of both this path and this path. Then okay, then it's super more empowering, because then you can be like, this is what I choose to do, knowing the full ramifications of both sides.
Yep.
Like that sounds like, to me, that just sounds awesome, where you have the knowledge of something, and then taking all that into account, you can be like, yeah, I'm still gonna do it anyways.
That's
like
right.
Yeah, to me, there's just so much power in that.
That's right. And if you're doing something too much, if it's becoming an issue for you.
Because you feel it.
Because you feel it, because if you're starting to go, I want to do that as opposed to everything else. Like if you're gaming for 17 hours a day, and gaming is not something that you're going to enter a competition about, or it's not your full-time job, then you go, well, so I'm doing that. I'm forgetting about the kids. Amazing. I'm not eating. I have blisters on blisters on blisters. Like I haven't seen sunlight in 4 weeks. You could go,
okay, maybe it's a problem.
Maybe there's something that we need to have a look at. But if you just like to go into a zone where you're doing your thing, and it's not to the point where the rest of your life has been put into a holding pattern, well, then go with that. So take stock of what makes you happy as well. Like, y'all are doing a whole lot of things you don't even like. Like, stop it. Stop doing things that you don't like. I mean, you have to, we actually don't need to cook dinner. I mean, Uber Eats delivers, menu log, whatever. So stop doing things that you don't like. Stop doing things that, suck the life out of your soul, and come up with a solution on, so, how can I not do that? Because if you hate doing the thing, I can guarantee you there's somebody who loves doing that thing. Yeah. So swap them for something that they hate that you can do for them. Starting to have that conversation, you know what, I actually don't really like that. So we don't iron. Unless we absolutely have to, we don't iron.
Yeah, unless we're going out in public.
Unless we're going out in public, we don't. Why don't we iron? Because we don't need to. One, because if we're not leaving the house, especially, but it don't take us to a happy place. So my job, I'll just stick to my volunteering. Okay, nice. I love it. Volunteering, absolutely. So start to have a think about that yourself. Start to look at what makes your heart happy. Stop doing what doesn't make your heart happy. Don't have so much judgment across the board. Because a lot of times, I mean, and I'm not an expert when it comes to weight loss and fitness. That's your area of expertise. I've heard a rumor that says that if you eat something, it's generally not the thing that you eat. It's if you eat something and then you have guilt attached to it, the chemical release from the guilt can do more damage to you than the actual thing that you just ate. Is that true?
I haven't heard that.
Right, okay.
But it's great that you bring that up, because then, like, I've had this conversation with some people at the gym where they were so super shocked when I say that, I've had Hungry Jacks this week, or I've had a snitty and chips with gravy. They're like, oh my God, you're meant to be this fitness guru. And I was like, well, but I'm also human as well. Like, I like schnitzel. I love chips, and if I'm on this journey which I am on now, and I just eat chicken and broccoli for the rest of my life, like how boring is that? Like I'm running a marathon. I'm not sprinting. Effort and ate cookies in an hour. I love cookies.
I hear you.
But yeah, it's also a balance. It's about okay, I've worked and I've ate really clean for 4 to 5 days, drank all my water, got everything that I need to get in. Hey, I'm feeling like a schnitzel. Let's have a schnitzel and chips. Okay, cool. Does that mean that I need to go and smash out 10 hours straight at the gym tomorrow? No, I've given myself something that I wanted because I'm human and I like to enjoy these things. Like, everyone who's watching this, you're exactly the same. Like, it's have that, but you need to have it in moderation. If I ate schnitzel for every single meal for a week, okay, let's address the issue, because like you just said, it's probably not the schnitzel and chips. It's probably an underlying issue that I need to take care of because I'm just trying to put a band-aid on a broken leg. But if I'm eating clean and I understand that, hey, look, I've got tomorrow off and I can deal with the ramifications that come with what I'm eating, am I going to do it? And I've had times where I'm like, you're going to have schnitzel today? No, I'm not. Okay, cool. Let's just go back to some U foods and go from there. Chicken and rice and whatever. Just because I'm feeling that. Like, that's what I feel. This is what I want to have, regardless of whatever happens next. This is what I choose to do. And if you choose to have schnitzel out of the week, awesome. Like us.
Good night, beauty.
Yeah, it's don't have judgment around it. If it's like the one-off thing, or you've been pretty clean, it's all about that, that balance of, if you're eating really clean, okay, cool. Like, let's have something, and let's have something that you want. This is your time. This is what you want to do. This is what you want to eat for this meal. And then you can go back and get after it. I normally feel good the next day because I'm like, okay, cool. I've had that, and it lights up my soul to have a snitty and chips, and that's my little Friday thing for the week. And then I can get after it. But if I don't want to have it, and I don't need to have it, and I don't feel guilty other way.
So I think today's talking mess has been sponsored by No Guilt.
Yeah, yeah, that's
the thing. Guilt free.
Yeah.
Because regardless of what you do, like you were talking about, you work hard enough. If you want to have it, then just have it, as opposed to having it because you wanted it and it was so good, and then you feel guilty because you had it, and it takes away from the fact that it was so good, and then you're like, oh my God, but it was so good, but I feel so bad about it. Oh my gosh, now what am I going to do? As opposed to going, oh my God, that was so good, I just love it. And then that's it. There's no extra story that you put on top. There's no extra emotion. It's just, oh my God, that was great. I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I and across the board, nearly all of the things we talked about tonight were very much about doing the thing without guilt.
Yeah.
And I would leave you with the question of, if you are feeling guilt, whose guilt is it?
I ain't gonna say anything after that, because I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah, we're gonna leave you with that question. But whose guilt is it? Because I can pretty much guarantee you that a lot of times it's not even yours. It's somebody else's opinion, somebody else's story, somebody else's voice in your head that's saying to you, oh, really, you're going to eat that? Okay, or you're going to have that, or you're going to go and do that, or whatever. Perhaps it would be worthwhile to go, oh, I wonder where that guilt came from. I wonder where that little voice come from. Because if you just get curious with it, you might find out that it's actually not even yours. And again, without any judgment, then you can go, oh, how interesting. I remember that's something that Mum used to say, or that's something that Nan used to say, or, I can remember the lady down the road used to say that all the time. And you might still be having those same thought processes and that same voice in your head from something that's from years ago. So hopefully tonight has been helpful.
Hopefully.
Just let us know. Has it been helpful? Did you get something from it? Did you get something?
I'm not going to say any more because that's just I'm leaving everyone to marinate on that.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's important for you because we should have like a check-in next week. So everybody come back because we want you to marinate on that for the week. And
send text if it's good for you and you actually got something out. 0467 88 5757. Send through a text, and if it's helpful, awesome. If not, that's awesome too.
Shall I put your number in here?
Sure.
0467 88 5757. Does that come up with everybody's on there for everybody?
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, so it's come up like lots of places. Oh, it's gone on to YouTube. Okay, I'll go back and delete that because that's probably block user. No, that's not going to work.
Anyway,
okay,
it's out of hand. It's in the details.
Oh, so hopefully that's been helpful.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, and we will see you
next week.
So take care. Have a fantastic week. Be awesome. Okay.
Later.
See you. Bye.